Greetings and welcome to this new gameplay video. In this video I decided I would mess around with Motaro a bit and see what kind of weird stuff he could do, and this is basically one of the first matches I played using Motaro, messing around with his options, and I've got to admit I kind of love Motaro. His back cameo assist, the projectile wall, I didn't think was going to be that useful or that, you know, satisfying, but that right there is the most satisfying thing I've found to do in this game so far. It is so good. This Baraka isn't particularly great. I'm not saying he's bad by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not using Cyrax in the way a lot of Baraka players are using right now for, you know, the crazy long block string chip damage stuff. He's not doing that. But yeah, I wanted to just put it together a couple matches, or sets I guess, of me messing around with Motaro and showing off how good that projectile shield thing can be when it's effective, when it works basically. But I love it, man, I love it so much. I have noticed one, oh look at that. I completely botched the combo because I wasn't expecting that to work. I was kind of startled and I panicked a bit, but yeah. It's so good, man. It's so good. General Shao, the zoner, who zones you with your own projectiles. One thing I've noticed about it though is that it can be very effective, but there's certain projectiles it doesn't work very well with. One being Rico. If Rico is at full screen and he does his shuriken projectiles, because of the speed of the projectiles, he can actually recover in time to block them if you reflect them. So it kind of works to stop him spamming them, I guess, but it's not like super effective. You have to be like mid-screen, three-quarter screen kind of to get the reflect to hit him. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work too well against Scorpion. His spear rope thing, rope spear, you know, the get over here. It stops it. It stops you getting hit by it, but it doesn't do anything to Scorpion. He doesn't take any damage or anything like that, so it's hard to de-incentivize a Scorpion to stop spamming rope spear using the Motaro parry projectile thing. But against some characters like Baraka, who have very fast projectiles, it works at all ranges, and it's super, super fun to use. I don't know what it is, it feels so satisfying when it works. I've used it against a Liu Kang, it works perfectly fine. I've used it against a Li Mei, it works fine. I even got it to work against a Sector assist, and I'll have a clip at the end of the video showing that off, because that is really janky. I don't think it's supposed to work the way that it did, but it's kind of funny. As you'll see, I'm kind of doing the same stuff I was doing in the previous video, because this is literally the day after I played. I'm just kind of messing around with different cameos right now to see what I prefer, what I like and don't like. I do like Motaro, and I think the projectile reflect has some very cool applications in certain matchups. I think against Havoc, because his projectile's so slow and he generally uses it as an approach tool to get in, being able to reflect that projectile back at him would be really effective at kind of shutting down his neutral game plan. However, Havoc players do have a tendency to run Sub-Zero, and Sub-Zero has the ambush assist that puts the frost armor or ice armor on him that counteracts projectiles, so it won't, if that happens and you run into a Havoc using Sub-Zero, it probably won't be as effective, but it's still pretty good, I guess, because it cancels out the projectile, right? They cancel each other out. The only difference is that you can't really use the Motaro assist very frequently, and the ice armor lasts longer than what the Motaro assist does. So overall, I think the ice armor Sub-Zero gives is probably a better counter to projectiles than what the Motaro one is, but Motaro's projectile reflection is just so fun. I even tried it against Anashira's projectile, you know, the light projectile she does, and it hit the shield and then nothing happened. It just kind of disappeared as if it was never there. So I don't know if I was at like max range of the projectile and it just disappeared because of the, you know, range limit, or if it just doesn't reflect at all. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to See if I can run into an Ashra and try. I could technically go into the practice room and try it, but it's a lot more fun to just experiment online, I guess. Especially with the way the dojo is right now, with all the dodgy frame data numbers that aren't accurate, and yeah, makes labbing a bit of a pain. My down 1 pressure is getting better. I'm starting to figure it out. You'll probably see in this set I do pretty well with my down 1 pressure. Still not great with it by any stretch of the imagination, but as you can already see, this Baraka is a lot better. He's doing the actual Cyrax combos. However, this Baraka does pretty much always hold block when I do down 1 pressure, so I get throws all the time against him. I'm basically a strike throw character against this Baraka. He lets me throw him a lot. But I've been able to quite successfully condition Baraka players not to spam the, you know, the forearm blade projectile. And I am really shocked at how easy it is to use the Motaro projectile reflect against most characters. I was expecting characters like Baraka to be really difficult to use the reflect against them because of how fast the projectile is, but it's really easy. Bonk. One thing I want to try and experiment with a little bit more is I want to stop going for corner carry and start knocking the opponent backwards so I can do some axe pressure mid-screen and try and utilize the axe a little bit more in my pressure sequences, because I do think that's going to be better overall. I have been trying to mess around with the teleport to see what I can get with that. Not just, I don't mean like in terms of combos, I mean in terms of like reads in neutral. You can punish projectiles with it on a read, but you have to be like really preemptive with it. I was trying against a Rico earlier on, and even when I did it on a read, I still couldn't punish the projectile very frequently. I had to like really preempt the teleport in order to punish the projectile. I don't know if Rico's ninja stars just recover faster than other projectiles, or if it's you know, I was just being slow. But I found it really difficult to use the teleport and punish on a read against Baraka. Against Scorpion though, it works pretty well because he has a lot of recovery on his rope spear. But if you muck up the teleport, you know, mistime it and you get hit by the spear, it kind of sucks. However, one thing I've noticed is if you get hit by the rope spear while you're mid-teleport, they cancel each other out and Scorpion falls out of the spear pull, which can be quite nice. And the teleport still happens from what I can remember, I think. I think you still teleport behind him, it's just it puts you both on the ground. Kind of resets neutral and you're right in his face, which can be quite useful. Bonk. Didn't do the wave dash. Well, dash cancel. Been looking at my dash cancels a lot lately, unfortunately. Yeah, I keep throwing him. He's not really doing anything about it. I don't know if he knows how to deal with it. Yeah. That feels so satisfying doing that. So satisfying. I am starting to finally crouch block. Not crouch block. Duck projectiles. I'm not blocking them anymore. So I'm definitely starting to improve and, you know, do Mortal Kombat stuff. That's kind of useful. Sometimes when he does that overhead, if the spacing's correct and the timing's correct, you can do your armored reversal. And because of how long the startup on the overhead is, again, assuming it's timed correctly, you can get a full combo because his overhead won't take the armor off the reversal. Which is quite nice against Baraka, because Baraka does quite often outdamage General Shao. It's not that Shao doesn't get much damage, he can get quite decent damage, it's just that at the tippy top, like absolute optimal punishes and stuff like that, you get outclassed by a lot of the stronger characters in the game. You know, stronger characters are getting like upwards of 50-60% on optimal punishes, especially with Fatal Blow. Speaking of Fatal Blow, I finally labbed my Fatal Blow combos, so I know how to combo into it. One thing that's very good with Motaro is if you do the Fatal Blow and then press the cameo button during the startup of the Fatal Blow, Motaro will do a punch, so you don't have to wait for the axe to come down. It makes it very effective if you want to do like one-hit confirms on grounded opponents into the Fatal. Oh, that was actually kind of sick. Motaro took the spear. He took the projectile and allowed me to do the ground pound. That's actually quite useful. But yeah, you can do like standing to Fatal Blow and then hit the cameo button and it works. Where normally without Motaro it wouldn't work. Down 2 neutral. Yeah, watch. Full combo because he didn't take the armor. I've been doing that a lot against his overhead thing. Donk. Dash. I'm trying to use the axe overhead a bit more so I can get the Motaro teleport combo. I've been looking up my Motaro teleport combo. I've been doing the wrong one online and I keep dropping it. I do the Motaro teleport into back 2, into forward jump 1-2, and then I land and do 2-2, and it's been dropping, so I think I need to do the forward jump into 2 and drop the 1 to get the combo. Yeah, I tried to go for it there, and he blocked it. Having the teleport makes the overhead a lot more rewarding. You know, it balances out the risk reward, because if you get the teleport, you can get like 30%, 35%, rather than the 15, so it's less risk because, it's not less risk, right? I mean, if he still blocks it, he's still getting 30, 40, 50, 60%, depending on what combo route he takes, but because you can get more damage, I feel like it's a bit more worth it, you know? You can basically like trade blow for blow with the overhead when you have a Motaro, where if you don't, the damage output isn't really worth it, considering the risk. Yeah, that right there is so annoying. That mid into low, because it's multi-hitting, it breaks armor, and because General Shao's reversal only has 1 point of armor, it blows straight through it. You can't reversal a Baraka if he's meeting you with the mid into low 2-hit button, whatever it is. And that, oh. It must be nice, you know, having conversions off of throw. I wish I had that. I can't complain though, I mean General Shao's really fun, yeah. Bonk. It makes a world of difference when you actually start implementing like Fatal Blow combos. I was not using Fatal Blow combos yesterday, and matches were coming down to the wire, or there was certain matches where I could have just flat out won them if I did a Fatal Blow combo, because the Fatal Blow by itself always does 30%. It does less when, you know, scaling comes in from long combos, but you can easily get, I think, like optimal combo that I found so far for Motaro into Fatal Blow does about 49%, so you can really chunk a person's health bar away if you get the right hit. Bonk. Yeah, this Katana, I don't know if Katana is a zoner. I was going to say Katana's a zoner, but I'm not entirely sure. But she does have a couple of different types of projectiles, and in this set, specifically, this is the one I really wanted to show, because this Katana could not projectile zone us. She literally couldn't. I was projectile zoning her with her own projectiles. It was nuts. I'm waiting for it. Yeah, I got, I twitched a bit there. I got a bit preemptive. You can do, the back cameo, which is the Motaro projectile shield, and then hold the cameo button, and for as long as you hold it, Motaro's projectile shield will stay there and he'll walk forward, so you can kind of keep it there for as long as you have you know, a cameo meter to do it. It's actually quite effective against Raiden, because Raiden has a charge projectile where he shoots, you know, about 5-6 different projectiles at once. If you see him charging it, you can do the back cameo, hold the cameo, and then when, I was going to say Motaro, when Raiden releases the projectiles, you'll reflect all of the projectiles back at him. It's quite effective. It can stop Raiden from using that. Yeah, they took the armor there, so I don't get the combo, unfortunately. I did do something really stupid in this set. Katana started spamming the, yeah, look at that, man. She can't zone us with a fan toss. But she was doing the, you know, the long range fan toss, the big arcing one that comes down from the top. And I kind of just sat there and blocked it over and over again rather than moving out of the way of it. I kept trying to jump to avoid it for some reason, even though it comes from the air. All I had to do was do like a wave dash forward into a block, and I would have maneuvered myself away from it to stop her from being able to hit us. Yeah, I'm getting twitchy. Twitchy with the projectile reflect. Yeah, it's so easy to do on reaction. It's just, I just want it so badly that I keep spamming it, hoping that she's going to throw a projectile out. But yeah, I just kind of sat there under the projectile and kept getting hit by it. I think using the teleport to get around projectiles can be useful, but I think it's going to be, for me at least, it's going to be very matchup specific. I think there's certain projectiles where I'm just not going to use the teleport to try and punish, like Rico's. It just seems like he recovers too quickly to punish consistently for me right now. But Scorpion, I think it can be quite useful for the, what's it called? You know, the rope spear. Although having said that, that rope spear is very quick, it's hard to preempt that. And if you're wrong, he gets like a huge combo on you, so it's very risky, but the reward for it, if you're right, is quite good. Boink. Nope. It's so satisfying, man. So satisfying. I was of the mindset prior to playing this, well, this day of playing that Kung Lao was probably a better assist for General Shao than what Motaro is, because his low projectile's better and he has a combo extender assist that Motaro doesn't have. And he still has the teleport to combo off the overhead. But I'm not entirely sure now because I really like... Yeah, this is it right here. I just sit here, walk forwards, wave dash forwards, move. Luckily she stopped because I literally wouldn't have got out of that. But yeah, I was under the impression that Kung Lao was probably overall better than Motaro, and he probably is overall. But I don't know, man. That projectile reflect is just so good. This is basically just like a 20-minute video of me gushing about that projectile reflect. I love it, man. It's so great. I want to give Sub-Zero a go because I feel like Sub-Zero's Ice Armor can be quite useful for General Shao. It's useful for anybody who struggles against projectiles, and it's useful for projectile characters themselves. Brutality. I did not know that was a brutality. I've got General Shao to level 30, but I don't know what his brutalities are, so I was surprised I got that. But yeah, I've seen a lot of zoners, like Shang Tsung and that, using that Ice Armor so that they can zone their opponent without having to worry about getting zoned themselves. That Ice Armor Sub-Zero has just seemed like it's a really powerful assist for basically any character. Especially when you're going up against, you know, projectile heavy characters. It's not useful if you're going up against someone like Johnny Cage, right? He doesn't have a projectile, so it's not going to be very useful. But against Shang Tsung, Katana, Havoc, you know, there's a lot of very good matchups for that type of assist. And it's an ambush assist, so you can do it whenever. Mid-combo string while you're walking forwards. So it seems like it could be very good on General Shao. But I feel like right now, the one thing I'm kind of wanting on General Shao is a good low assist. His overhead is very unsafe on block. He has like a low to overhead, he has a mid to overhead, but he doesn't have any, you know, like overhead lows, right? But if you have an assist that gives you a low, you can do, what is it? Back 1-2, which is a mid into overhead. You can do that, or you can do back 1 assist into a low, or you can do the back 3 assist into a low for like a double low. I think it could be really useful having a low assist on General Shao, so I'm going to give Frost a go as well, I think, and Kung Lao obviously, because he has a really good projectile. This is the dodgy interaction that happened with the sector thing. Yeah, I don't know what that is. That just doesn't seem like it's supposed to work that way. But with that being said, I'll bring this set to an end. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.